If I call you bro, that means I love you, bro. That means I'll go to war with you.
Fire, baby.
The reason why you need to know your identity is because when you know who you are, people don't get to define it for you.
When I tell you guys who you have in your circle is important.
You're listening to the Bros to Men podcast with Cameron Persad, Jeff T. Osborne, and Roy Rand.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for another amazing episode of the Bros to Men podcast. We pray that these jewels, this content begins to change lives wherever they are. Let them know that they matter and that we create conversations that matter. So we thank you in advance for the lives being changed for a great time. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Yo, listen, I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Bros to Men podcast. Listen, we are excited about this episode, but as always, we always drop jewels and give you content that inspires action.
Come on now.
So listen, I don't know if they can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it here right now, but in our studio, we've got the holiday vibes going on. Come on, let's give it up for our producer, Solomon, right now. DJ Hall for my man, for keeping it good. We feeling festive. We feeling good right now.
Absolutely.
This is our Christmas episode, fellas.
Man.
Like holidays are already here.
It's like here and gone. Like so quick. Like where did the year go, bro? What happened in 2023?
I feel like 2022 just ended.
Right. I'm still stuck in 2019. I'm trying to come outside and see if the pandemic over. Your boy, we already here on the new year.
Absolutely.
Okay, so listen, as we always do, I always shotgun topics. So for those of you who are watching right now, we always pick a topic. I may have one that comes off of the top of my head while I'm driving before we get here. So Dips doesn't know about it necessarily. Cam may know a little bit about it, but I got a topic for us that I want us to discuss on this Christmas season. Are y'all ready?
Drop it.
I hope so.
No, I'm just making sure y'all ready for this one.
I hope
Okay.
so. Okay.
All right, so check this out. Here we go. We're going to talk about, because it's the holidays, how do you set boundaries and deal with drama when it comes to the holiday season? Now listen, when I talk, hold on.
You're referring to with loved ones, right?
Oh, absolutely. How do you deal with those? So check this out. How do you set family boundaries? How do you deal with creating new traditions? How do you deal with all of the drama that's happening when you're there? Because let's keep it real. We always got that cousin, that uncle, and that auntie that come with that drama right now, right? So I want to talk about, and I'm interested to find out because we got somebody who is dating, we got somebody who is about to be engaged, we got somebody who about to put, and you got somebody who's married, right?
Right.
So I want to hear traditions that you got, traditions that you ain't gonna keep. Traditions that you breaking or you planning on breaking.
Okay.
This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to navigate boundaries. And I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give y'all this.
Hold on. Before you drop that, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Family, I love you. I love each and every one of you. But I still got to do this. Let's go.
Hey, so look.
We got to do this.
I'm just letting y'all know.
I love all of y'all, but we're going to keep it 100 though.
Yo, I'm just going to let y'all know, because we're in this studio, I got the button so you know what that means.
Come on.
You can't tell me nothing.
Right,
Look, if it's Cap, I'm going to call Cap. If it's off, we're going to call off because then it gave me the button. So that's why I love our producer, Solomon, for hooking us up. So, hey, we gonna hop into this, okay? So when we talk about holiday season, let me give you this background on this. We talk about holiday season because for most people, they can't even enjoy the holidays because your people pleasing kicks in. Right. You got to go to 6 different houses. You got to keep everybody else happy. So I want to talk about the drama behind the holidays and what are some of the things that you got to do to keep your peace in these holidays. I'm going to open the floor.
So, right. I'm like, you going to put it on me first, huh? It's so much to chew on.
Yeah.
So let's start here because we did mention, dating, and there's a lot of people out there who are probably dating first time, being maybe around someone's family this time of the season, right? Which is always like a very uncomfortable, like anxious moment. You don't really know what to expect. So I'm gonna start with this story.
Story time.
So when I was dating, in my 20s or so, I was dating this young lady. And
Long time ago.
long time ago. Yeah. I'm in my mid 30s, so this is 15, 17 years ago.
Hold on.
Stop the cap.
Why you think like that? I am, bro.
Mid 30s. Hold on. We in our late 30s, G. Let's keep it 100, bro. All right, we gonna tell the truth now.
That's my story here, bro. Like I was saying. So, anyways, I went. This young lady invited me to participate in the holidays with her family. Right, I'm not gonna draw no names because the bro know who I'm referring to. So, anyways, she invites me over. It's like a week or two before the actual holiday. So she's like, "Hey, so the way we do it in my family is like we all put what we want for Christmas on a piece of paper, and then you throw it in a hat, and then when you get that person, you gotta buy them that gift."
Okay.
Mind you, bro, I'm 19, bro, 18. I'm making like $7 an hour, right? Cool. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm down. I'm thinking like a CD at the time. Back then we would have the CDs, and then I'm thinking like maybe a game, bruh. I go in there, pull the name out, iPad. No, my bad. iPod, rims for the car. So I remember thinking like, I can't afford none of this stuff, right? I'm like, okay, cool,
Wait,
yeah.
did you just say rims for the car?
Yeah. So they had, just check this out. They had a $1,000 limit.
Oh my God.
So you could put multiple things that added up to $1,000, or you could have
What?
a $1,000 item, right? Bro,
what
I've
are
been
you
with the girl
talking
for 4
about, man?
weeks.
What you talking about?
Yeah, bro. So one of the things I bring that up to say, I think sometimes you get brought into traditions and customs and way that other people do things, and you're not with it. So how do you navigate that space when you get around families that have traditions? And I know you guys probably have different takes on it, right? So that's why I'm asking this question, because like, what if you're just not with it? I can't afford none of this stuff. I don't like y'all that much. I don't even plan on being with her that long. You know what I mean? Like, Dips, you dating, bro. How would girl brings you over to the house? Like, yeah, you gotta buy someone in my family. You don't even know $1,000 gift.
I ain't gonna lie. If I'm gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna be there. I'm a
Mhm.
chameleon.
You just go along with the program?
If I don't know about that.
Stop the
program.
cap.
I don't know about that.
Stop
Let me get you, bro.
Stop the cap.
I don't know about that program, but I try to stay with their traditions. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Mixed in with a little bit of mine. If I know it's gonna get crazy,
Mhm.
and I might start a little bit of a fight.
Yeah.
Like, you get on my nerves. Yeah, I ain't going to your
Right.
parents'
Maybe they'll
house.
just excuse you and tell you you're not invited back. And you don't gotta worry about it.
Yeah.
I've never had anything crazy
Mhm.
like where I was like, yo, what is this or what's going on? And I've had different traditions,
Mhm.
but everything has always been pretty chill. And we've usually came to my house and done my traditions. You know what
So you were
I
able to avoid going over there. You brought it to.
I was always able to avoid going over there. But I'll tell you this. In case y'all don't know, I like a mixture of Asian and black in my woman.
That's facts. Yeah.
And
Got a track record to prove that.
my last relationship,
Mm-hmm.
the Asian side was the mother, and usually I like the black side to be the mother because that's the culture. Mom locks down the house and all that.
Yeah.
And in this relationship, the Asian side was Cambodian.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something about Cambodians.
Okay.
Do not deny the food. Disrespectful.
Like disrespectful. Right.
Get
That's
there,
real,
you
though.
like, yo, you want to play? I'm like, I'm just trying to be nice. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want to plate. You get a plate, and there comes back with like animals with eyes on them. And
You
you're
gotta eat it.
like, hey, what is this?
You gotta eat the plate.
What is this?
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Right.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna just lock in. I'm gonna eat this plate. Some of the food is amazing. Some
Right.
of it's not
so
so
much.
great.
Yeah.
Finish the plate. Let me tell you something about Cambodian households.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that plate is finished,
You got
get another one
right in front of you. Bruh.
and if you say no and you don't eat it, it's disrespectful.
I would have had to pull like I'm
So I'm
allergic
like,
card
oh,
or
no,
something.
no. I'm and she looked at me like,
No, you gonna eat this.
So then I learned that when I go over there, you hold that plate as long as possible. You just
Take your
eat
time.
nice and slow. Take your time. Maybe don't eat yet. Wait until everybody's
Okay,
eating.
look at this dropping the gym.
Got
He
it.
gonna help y'all out. He gonna help y'all out.
If y'all watching this right now, I need y'all to understand that he's dropping jewels right
Right,
now.
go ahead and write those down.
He's trying to help y'all out. Like you gotta eat the, you gotta be able to make sure that you eat what's on the plate,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta eat slowly. So if you ain't having to keep getting
Avoid
it.
that
You gotta
round
navigate. You gotta navigate.
Wow. Okay. So check this out. I gotta tell you something because we're gonna get into this, and I think it's gonna help somebody. Okay.
Mhm.
So I remember when it was on the holiday time and I first met Nadia. Nadia's Mexican. So same exact principle that they just feed you. Everybody, abuelita, everybody thought I was sick because I was too skinny. Like, they were like, yo, what's wrong? He got to eat more, all of this stuff, right? So I'm sitting there and they fed me something that was, they gave me some salsa that was so spicy. Like, I was used to the Red Rooster,
Louisiana hot sauce,
Crystal's Louisiana hot sauce.
And a little bit of vinegar in it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's that vinegar at? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Right.
So she hands me this plate and the food is so hot. Like I start sweating internally. Like, you get that internal sweat where it's like, yo, this,
burning.
Okay, it's hot. I'm looking around. So Nadia's looking at me and she like, man, I'm like, look, this is the first family function. I can't come across as like sideways. Yo, when I tell y'all my people pleasing at that moment went into full overdrive, I was trying to finish the plate. Now your boy's throat is screaming. Like I'm like, yo, like the sauce, the hot, the heat, the Scovilles on this thing is out of, it's next level, right? So you like that? Hey, so Nadia's looking at me and she tells me these things. She goes, "What's wrong?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, it's good." you doing them things like, "No, it's good." I just, down the wrong tube. She goes, "No, what's wrong?" And I said, "No." She goes, "You don't like it, huh?" I'm kind of scared because the mama there, right?
Right.
So she goes, "Just throw it away, bro." My reaction to it was this.
What?
Right.
Oh,
what are you talking about, man?
I see where you're going.
What are you talking about? Like, just throw it away? No, you don't understand. In my household, how we were raised, if it touches your plate,
you're going to eat it.
You're going to finish it. She's like, just throw it away. And when I tell y'all fear gripped me like never before, trying to throw the plate away, and then the mom goes, "What's wrong? You didn't like it?" So I'm looking at Nadia like, "Nah, don't." Like, no. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, he didn't like it. It was too hot for him." The mom said something. She was like, "Oh, okay. You want something else?" In that moment, I got this lesson that I was trying to subject myself to a tradition and not speak up, that it didn't fit well with me, or I was trying my best to be able to be in that space. And I think just even the effort of me trying was enough for them to see, okay, he respects what we're doing. And I feel like sometimes when it comes to holidays, when it comes to these things, oftentimes in couples, we don't even give it a try just because it looks different.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to engage in what you're doing because it's not what I'm used to. And I feel like sometimes when it comes to dissension during the holiday time and the stress, it gets put on because a simple sign of respect is just simply saying, "Oh, okay, it's not what I'm used to, but let me just try it."
Absolutely.
Like, what's your thoughts with that?
Real quick, I want to give a story because
this story time. I'm just saying, it's story time right now.
I had another situation. We going to the Osborne house. If you don't know about the Osborne house and Christmas, I'm gonna tell you about the liquid gold. Called the eggnog.
Come on, bro.
And let me tell you something. I went in there, drank the last bit of eggnog. And almost got squabbled up. Almost got squabbled up.
You almost got it, boy.
Right. Pops was like,
hey, shaking the empty carton with eggnog. Hey, somebody better hit the stove.
That's facts, though. That's facts.
Somebody better hit the stove.
Yeah.
But to your question, you just gave me kind of a little aha moment when you said, because when you were saying about people pleasing, I was like, yeah, but I didn't feel like I was people pleasing. But then you opposed it with, at least you gave that effort. Like, I'm trying this out. And I love when you get to try out other cultures, because you might find things that you like and you might find things that you don't like, but at least dive in and try. Right. You know what I mean? And don't be so set in your ways to where it's like, this is how it's done. You can't do this. Cause I know how you felt with that. Like, you ain't throwing no food away at my house.
Ain't happening.
Hey, just put that in the corner, throw it in the refrigerator.
Right.
We'll eat it later.
Right.
We'll figure it out, especially coming up when, you not having that much bread. Sometimes.
Resources were scarce.
Resources are scarce, but I love that you said that, bro. It's trying new things, and if you in it, you in it. You trying to mix. This is love. You trying to make it work. So you got to do what you got to do.
I love that. I mean, for me, it's like, as I've gotten older, I've realized that when people invite you into their sanctuary to be amongst their tribe, that's like a sacred thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like growing up, you know, although I practiced it, it wasn't something that I necessarily acknowledged or realized at an early age, right? There was very few people who were allowed in my mom's house. Not just because I didn't want to invite them, but because my mom would be like, that little friend you have that wears, he can't come over here, right? That friend you have is always cussing, he can't come to my house either, right? So it was like I had very few people. So it's like Roy is one of those people. You were one of those people. You know, our brother, rest in peace, John Willie, he was one of those people. You know, Justin, he was one of those people. And what happens is like they become part of the tribe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my friends called my mom, just like I call your guys' mom's mom, right? And same with my grandparents. Like my grandparents became a second set of grandparents to my friends. You know, so when I look back at it now, it's like it's really a sacred thing to invite someone into that safe space and to take place, like, and to be part of your most intimate, you know, area, because it's like this is a show of love and affection and things that take place there. So I think if from a dating context, when you're in a relationship with someone, even if it is, you know, maybe customs being practiced that you're not necessarily used to, I think it's important to keep that in mind. Like the fact that I'm being invited into this space, right? Especially when they're welcoming, like welcome to the family, right? Like, yeah, they trust you in their space because, you know, we got stories like when people who we didn't trust came into the space, maybe brought as a date, brought as, you know, a plus one of someone. And it's like the energy was different. Like, nah, bro, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how'd you just introduce yourself to my grandma?
Oh, I know exactly.
Yeah, like we don't.
right now.
But what I mean,
was nervous for bro.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a certain standard that a lot of people have, or certain expectations as far as how they expect you to act, right? Or how to behave yourself in a certain way when you come into that space. So I think if you get invited into those areas, it's because they see that in you. So I think it's kind of important to be mindful of as well. Like, yeah, it might be different, it might be a little uncomfortable, but yet they see enough in me, right? Or they trust me enough to bring me into this safe space.
See, and I love how you said that. Like, it's a sacred moment. You say, yo, before you even get there, it's like, yo, I'm going to be open in it. But I think it's important for people to understand, like, your energy speaks for you before you even enter a room.
Man.
And when I talk, I'm not talking this esoteric, like your energy. I'm talking about the energy you carry.
Come on, bro.
Before you even go into an engagement. So if there's been moments where I didn't want to, you know, Mexican culture, man, they throw parties for everything.
Right.
And for us,
Nadi go forever, bro.
Yeah, and Nadi will look at me like, yo, your family doesn't get together for this? Nah, we don't do that.
Right.
You mean your family does? Like, it blew her, bruh. The idea of a potluck blew Nadia's mind. Like, no, it blew her mind. She's like, wait, they invited us to their house. Why do we got to bring food?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to host, then host.
Because it's an act of love to cook for someone.
But but especially in the Hispanic culture, it's like, yo, just come bring yourself. You can bring some beers, or you may bring some like, you know, something minor.
Bring what you want to drink.
Yeah, but the whole idea of like her saying, well, why would you invite me to your house to host us? And we gotta bring our BYOF, bring your own food. Like,
right.
It was weird. And so I was trying to explain to her that everybody in our family is known in the Black culture for the dish that you bring. Like Auntie Sherry was for her greens. Do not bring no greens to this party if your name is not Auntie Sherry.
Right.
Mom's was known for her cornbread, bringing the cornbread to the
That
table.
cornbread was something different, bro.
What?
That cornbread melt in your mouth.
Like, it was a sign of disrespect if you showed up with anything that resembled cornbread at the family function.
Do not bring what you do not expert in, right?
Like, if you have
holidays are not the time to experiment with a dish. Don't do that.
Hey, I saw somebody.
Don't do that.
Wait. I saw this clip on TikTok where this mom was mad at the daughter, full blown cussed her out because she experimented with some mac and cheese. The mom said, you know what we gonna do? We gonna go upstairs and we gonna watch our show and you gonna clean up the whole kitchen. And the daughter was like, why am I cleaning up the kitchen? She goes, no. What you did some dumb-ish and you experimented on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is not the day that you experiment. It's the day that you bring your best. So you gonna sit here and you're gonna have to be the one to clean the kitchen because you didn't listen to Aunt Karen's recipe. She done gave you the recipe. Why wouldn't you follow the recipe? Like, that type of stuff is huge, because I also think that, like, food and and cultures and traditions. Like that's family. Like
Emotions tied to that.
there's some emotion tied
And
to that.
can we also add in that folks look forward to certain dishes all
Man,
year. I cannot wait for Thanksgiving so I can get that turkey, so I can get that ham. Cause I know mom gonna make that mac and cheese, that gumbo, right?
What?
And there's nothing worse than getting there and it ain't hitting the way it's supposed to hit, bro.
What's the first
who made this? Who made this? Who made this? Who screwed up the greens? Who made these, bro? Who made these, bro?
Bro, you taste that first bite and somebody say, "Oh yeah, I made it." You take that bite, you like
Yeah.
denied.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
flavor ain't hitting.
Or that classic, like to take that bite and that they fold that plate. I'm gonna set this right here.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there.
Yeah.
What about the battle of the dishes? Yo, you start dating a joint, it's like my auntie Carrie make the best macaroni and cheese on earth, and you like,
Yeah, bruh.
So Jeff,
No,
I remember Jeff
don't
Don't do that. Don't do
Jeff told the story.
Yo.
About the banana puddings. No,
Wait,
that's not your mama's banana pudding.
That's actually a good segue though.
Okay.
Let's talk about something.
Okay.
Okay, so we grow up. Mom got the best cornbread. Mom got the best gumbo. Mom got the best prime rib, right? So when you start dating and when you get married, because your wife, she gets down a lot of dishes, bruh.
She's a master of desserts.
Yeah.
And I could say that about Christian, get down, bruh. Like she, you know what I mean? So I've noticed, like, how do I say this? It's not tension because it's all love, you know what I mean? But it's not like, and it's not a competition. But I'm gonna ask you, because you got the experience of marriage. I want to know, like, when you get to that point where you're like, dang, moms might be a little better than wives, right? Or wifey might got mom on a couple dishes. Like, how do you what's the word? How do you kind of
communicate that?
not just communicate it, but like how do you kind of like create a new culture in a sense, right? Because we grow up in a culture for so many years because it's just us and our family. Then you have your wife, your significant other, and then, you know, her family may get involved. Now they're coming and it's now you're mixing families.
Which is a
bro.
beautiful thing because you're taking the
It's
best
a beautiful
from
thing.
two and
Exactly.
making a
But
better.
it could also be
I was gonna
this
say,
though,
it can be
because
beautiful if you navigate it properly.
you can be like, oh, wife's mom is gonna make the turkey, and your mom's like, I always make the turkey. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that could be challenging and navigating as well. Like when it comes to blending families and blending cultures and blending traditions,
Yeah.
especially when it's like from two opposite sides of the spectrum, right? You're taking my black Southern culture and I'm mixing it with my Hispanic wife's culture, right? Completely opposite. How do you navigate that? Like, is it just a trial and error? Like, I'm gonna bring them together. Hopefully, no one starts fighting. Is there a recipe to that, or is it a trial and error type of thing?
So I'm gonna tell you this. One of the biggest things of that creates stress or creates discomfort in family holidays is when you don't alert your partner or your spouse on just some of the
What to expect?
yeah, like what to expect.
That's
These
real.
are some of the
Why you ain't tell me your
yeah,
brother?
yeah. Like I'm
Why you
trying to
tell me he
think.
gangbang for real? Yeah, give me a head up.
Let me know.
Right,
Don't wear
right.
red. Don't wear blue. Like, you know,
Right.
stay neutral. You know,
Right.
but the reality is oftentimes we just expect that our partner or our spouse is supposed to know how to act in our arena. And I tell everybody that you got to understand, you've been like everybody's family is used to playing a certain song.
Mhm.
And just like an orchestra, everybody knows the part that they play when it comes to the sound of music in your holiday, in your holiday, you know, your flow, right? In your orchestra. And so what happens is if you don't let your spouse know how things go, just so they can prepare themselves for it, they gonna come in there with cymbals and stuff.
Right.
Clang, clang.
Right.
And now they say something
That's so
and the
good.
family's looking at them different because they don't know what that song is. And so for us to assume that our partners or our spouses know what that role is, you're setting them up for failure.
So you're saying you got to give them like that locker room talk
You got to give them
on that way over there.
Freak out, but mom's
Yeah.
gonna ask you a million questions.
right. You got to set them up for success.
That's
Like,
good.
don't set them up for failure by letting them go in there blind. Like, oh, it's going to be a great family function. And they tell you, oh my gosh, they're not going to like me. And if they are another color, I'm just going to let you know this straight up. Like you have to prepare them as well for that culture shock, because there is culture shock as well that comes with that. Or if you have another family, like I said, whether you're black, white, Asian, Indian, your families also have different songs that they sing for their family. They have a different culture, different orchestra, and everybody knows how to play their role. And so I feel like there's a big part in relation. I guess it kind of like I'm trying to navigate this because I'm thinking about the story of Nadia Masters Dessert, and she came out with this banana pudding recipe,
Fire.
Okay,
Yep.
let me tell y'all
I
something.
don't even like banana pudding.
No, let me tell y'all something.
Yeah.
My wife named her banana pudding. The recipe was called Not Your Mama's Banana Pudding. Banana pudding was my mama's recipe. Like she was the one who did it every year, you know. And so Nadia was there like, oh, BYOF, it's potluck. But I didn't tell Nadia, don't bring this. So she comes with her banana pudding. She brings it in, doesn't say who it is. They lay it out on the table, and it comes to time to get it cracked. So they peel back the foil. You know, banana pudding's got to be in the glass, in the glass pan. So they hear my brother is the first one to dive into the pudding. So he dived in to cut himself a pudding. It takes a bite. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Takes another bite. Okay, mama. I like the new recipe that you did, mom. You killed this. And my brother Tony, he was like, what you mean, bro? Let me take a bite of that.
Yeah.
So he take a bite of it, and he was like, oh, this right here, mama. Like, dang, you killed this. And so my mom was like, wait, what you talking about, baby? Like, what you mean? And they're like, yo, y'all got to get this. And so Nadia, this was our first Thanksgiving. And Nadia comes, and she's like, you know, it's our first Thanksgiving since we were married. So, you know, she comes in, and she's just sitting there off in the corner. She looking at it, and you can tell she's like, oh, no, that's
like, do I claim that?
That's mine.
Right.
So my mom was like, nah, that ain't mine. What you mean that ain't yours? No, I didn't make that. They were like, my brother, but then who made it? And then Nadia sitting there, she's like, it was me. And my mom in that moment, she loved everybody. Y'all know mama, but she looked. Her feelings were hurt a little bit. She was like, and the name of it was Not Your Mama's Banana Pudding. So navigating this, I didn't let her know, but at the same token, it was like, yo, she brought something to the table that was incredible. It was fire. And so I give it to my mom for saying, you know, like she tasted it. She was like, wow, that was incredible. So now every year it's, yo, can Nadia make her banana pudding? But I had to challenge Nadia and say, yo, one thing that you can't touch is that cornbread.
Yeah.
That's mine. You can probably kill it, but you ain't gonna touch it. So I think that there's an area of compromise when it comes to certain things that you bring to the table. But here's where I want to kind of switch this, right? Because in every relationship, there are people in the family who aren't going to get along with who you bring to the table. And it may not be that they did anything wrong. How do you speak to the stress and the tension when there's beef that's unwarranted in the family? Like you come or you bring somebody or somebody doesn't like you because of hearsay. Like, how do we navigate? Because we talk about this idea of, yo, if there's traditions that you have, I'm going to just sum it up. There's a place of compromise.
Oh,
you know that there's certain things that are tradition for families, certain things that's like, yo, out of respect, we do this, this, and this.
Right.
Okay, we good. But then there are people who just have beef.
Yeah, I think it's like it's almost like two worlds colliding in a sense, because it's inevitable that your family also feels a certain kind of way when you start maybe distancing yourself a bit because maybe you're creating new traditions with your loved one, and maybe you're engaging more with their family. But aside from just maybe your family not liking your significant other, I'm gonna add something else on there, which is maybe just a family member that you don't rock with, or maybe just a family member that you necessarily don't look forward to being around, maybe because of the negative energy or the drama, or like they drink too much or they're always cussing, that type of thing, right? So I kind of want to touch on both of those because I feel like if you're not dealing with one, you're gonna experience the other. So I won't take up too much time, but I think in the relationship challenges that you may encounter, whether it's like someone in your family or your friends saying, "Yeah, we don't care for that person," right? Or you're not bringing so and so, are you? You know, that kind of thing. I think that's when you have to be very direct and very clear. And I think that, like anything else in life, if you let someone get away with it once, they'll do it again. They'll do it twice. They'll do it 3 times. So as a man, if that is someone that you rock with and that's someone that you love and someone that you respect, your expectation of others needs to be the same, right? Like you need to speak of that person with utmost respect. Don't ever speak ill of that person around me, right? And I think the other thing is you have to make it very known that whether it's, you know, a mother or whether it's a sibling, they're just nagging like, man, I don't care for that person. Or I think, you know, the famous, you could do better, or that's not the type of person. You just gotta let them know, like, look, you don't have to live with this person. You don't have to be in a relationship with this person. And sometimes it's telling them like, this is the most solid person I've ever been around, right? Sometimes it's telling them that this is my biggest supporter. Sometimes it's telling them that I'm a better person because of this person. Sometimes being very clear, like, I love this person as I love you, dad, grandma, mom, whatever, right? And I think like you have to be able to distinguish and differentiate the two relationships and say like, mom, you know I love you. Dad, you know I love you. I respect your opinion, but I'm also an adult, right? I know what makes me happy. So that's one thing. I think you have to be very clear and direct when it comes to the level of respect that you're expecting for your significant other or the person that you care for and you're planning to bring around your family. Now, that family member stuff, man, that's tough. That's tough to navigate. And I'll be honest, one of the things that really grinds my gears and I dislike probably more than anything is that when I hear family talk ill about other family members. Like when you hear sisters talk bad about their sister, or I don't know if I want to go over there because of this, or I don't get along with my cousin. He might pull up, but I don't like his girlfriend. I'm cool. I'm not gonna go around my family because I don't want to see anybody, right? Me personally, I feel like the world is already so tough and so hard. And I feel like there's already so many people out there who do not wish to see you succeed, who don't pray for you at night, who don't want anything good to come your way, don't want to see you blessed with anything that you're working hard for. Why come home and fight with your tribe as well? You know, and I think from my own personal experience, you know, with my own family, we've had unexpected deaths, people who've passed away unexpectedly. And it kind of reminds me of that story that Gary Vee told about, you know, looking at someone on their deathbed and seeing regret in their eyes, right? And it's just like, me personally, I feel like there's nothing big enough to end a relationship over. If that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your mom, that's your dad, whomever, a cousin, if that's your blood, I think that you should be the bigger person and do everything that you can to mend that situation. And you don't have to hang out with them. You don't have to talk to them all the time. But I think, me personally, if that's my loved one, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to speak highly of you. I'm going to try to speak life into you. Even if we do this and disagree on everything. I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, vice versa, whatever, right? I don't agree on nothing you talk about. I'm a Muslim, you're a Christian. Like, we don't agree, see eye to eye on anything. But for me personally, I just think there's nothing out there worse than when you're beefing with your own tribe.
What you think, Div?
You know, there's a story about 4 ox who are attacked by lions. And as long as they stay together with their horns outwards, they push the lions back. And it was when the ox started to fight and they turned towards each other is when the lions were able to
create a weakness.
And it creates a weakness. And so I've been extremely lucky to where my family handles things directly, especially my mom, in like a playful way. Like, soon as someone family does something crazy, my mom be like, that's your family.
Right.
Like we know you crazy, but you family.
We got you though.
Like, we got you. And as far as bringing people into that tribe, I'm really good at vetting. You're not meeting moms for a minute.
Wait, say that. Hold on, bro. Say that again. I'm gonna try to find a button right now because I ain't got it right now. But I want you to say that again for the people in the back. If you got somebody that you're bringing in, or you trying to bring into your family, you say that one more time.
I am very good at vetting them. Taking multiple data sets over time and going, okay, this is a person that I want to have a future with. Now let's go to level 5 and bring you around family. Because I know how moms is. Moms is going to go direct. Get Becky out of my house. Get her out.
Get
Why is
she
here?
gonna say
street.
she gonna say get up out of here. Yo.
That ain't it.
Roy, can I talk to you real quick? Going to the room. This, and this. She's a police officer, so she's gonna question you.
Mhm.
She's gonna get your license plate. She's gonna know. She's gonna run you
Right.
and know everything on your record. Like that's just how moms is.
Mhm.
But when moms mess with you and she locks
Right,
in
you
with you,
locked
she
in.
loves you, and she is all about building women. So even if we don't work out, she's gonna still contact you and make sure you're doing good with life and stuff of that sort. So vetting, staying together, understanding that that's family, navigating all that. And then lastly, you got to have non-negotiables for that as well.
Oh, I love that. Talk about so okay, wait.
Mm.
So when you say non-negotiables, what do you mean by that?
You got to have the things, if these things happen, then you ain't coming around family no more. It's done.
Mhm.
Now you move from the woman wife section to the work. Now you're the work section.
Wait, what you- hey, what
I don't
you-
even want to know.
hold on.
I don't even want to know what that means.
Man, now you're the work.
Hold on. Bro,
what?
that's terrible. Wait. You move from the woman wife to the work.
To
What
the
do you
work.
mean by that, bro?
Just basically, I'm not gonna see you as long-term relationship anymore.
Okay, so then if somebody doesn't know how to deal, it's a good one. If somebody acts up in front of your family
Mm.
and doesn't know how to act the first time around,
Mm.
is that something that you like,
No.
they're gonna get better throughout time?
Nah.
This is just a one time. Like, how do you the first chance they get to meet your family, is there such thing as too comfortable?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Talk about it. Talk
or
about
like
it.
that old saying, you're like, they ain't got no home training.
Ain't got no home training.
Like, who raised you?
Why are you
Who
drunk the first time you met? What are you
Why you drinking all the liquor, bro? Like,
What?
yeah,
Yo,
that's a real thing.
okay, but look, but here's what I'm saying. You said that the first time you recognize she doesn't know how to deal with their family, or they don't know how to deal with your family, or they do something that's disrespectful. How many people though are like, yo, but I love him.
Nah,
Oh,
see,
but I love her.
I hate when people say that because you need to come raised. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be raising anybody in a relationship. I shouldn't have to teach you how to speak to elders and how to make. Look,
You should come raised.
you should come raised, bro. That's what I'm like. I say that in the sense of, I shouldn't have to train you things that your parents, or teach you things that your parents were responsible for you learning as
What
a
if their
child.
parents were reckless?
Then it's your responsibility to go out and learn on your own, bro. Like, I don't like when people use childhood trauma or childhood experiences to be an F up for the rest of their lives.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
at some point in your life, you need to take the responsibility and accountability and say, you know what? I'm not quite as comfortable in a room with adults or with people that I don't know as maybe I should be, right? I have a problem looking at a man in the eye when I speak to him. I feel very intimidated, right? I stutter when I speak to people. Like, whatever it is, you need to go and learn those things. Like, I don't think it's my girlfriend's responsibility to teach me. And when you walk in, make sure you shake my dad's hand.
Yep.
You know,
Do it firm. No
Yeah.
wet fish. Like no.
yeah,
soft.
don't when we go in and you meet my grandma, like, don't say what's up to her, or, you know, introduce yourself by a nickname, or like, no, like, there's certain things that you should know when you walk into a room as a man, right?
Mhm.
But that's a great segue though, because there might be some young brothers out there watching this who maybe didn't have that example,
Yeah,
or
speak
young
to it.
ladies,
I love that.
right? I mean,
Okay, so wait.
Let's go there.
Yeah. So when they walk in,
what are the do's and don'ts?
What are the do's and don'ts? We talking about, because some of this will help. We're talking about
Yes.
drama, alleviating drama. We're talking about boundaries. We're
Mhm.
talking about these things. Let's set some people up for success.
And like you said, right? Like, don't set someone up for failure. If you know your dude wears baggy clothes, you know your girl got a habit of wearing super short stuff, revealing things, maybe you should give them that pep talk, that heads up prior to the holidays. Or as men who've been in that situation, let's talk about it. Like, how should you go correct?
Yeah, I said the first thing when you walk through the door, the first thing you got to do is you gonna meet who's the head of that house.
Come on.
First thing, you're gonna come over, you're gonna shake their hand. Nice to meet you, fellas. If it's somebody, if it's the father that you're shaking his hand, you're gonna have a firm handshake, look them right in their eye and say, nice to meet you. My name is so-and-so. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to move over to the mother. You're going to say, nice to meet you. You can go out to shake her hand. She may say, hey, I'm a hugger. You can hug, but you're going to also say that you are honored to meet her. You're doing those things. That's first off, right off the gate, and then you go down the line. If the grandparents are there, you're going to make your rounds to go say what's up. That's the first thing you got to do. I'm going to give you the second thing.
Come on.
And I learned this. Never, even if they tell you, like Nadia's family is big on this, they're like, yo, don't bring anything, just bring yourself. Don't ever come to a house empty-handed. Whether it's wine, whether it's flowers,
a dessert.
whether it's a dessert, whether it's always better to come to somebody's house with something to honor the place where they're at. You're giving gifts to them. You're blessing somebody and saying, man, it's such an honor for me to be able to be here. It's a gesture of kindness. And I think first and foremost, those are the first two things that I would say. And I'll give you a case in point. Today, my son is courting a nice young lady. My son will be 16 years old. So we talk about the courting process, right? Your friends, I don't care, you ain't dating, you ain't calling each other, but you're courting the process. So they've been talking for about a year and a half now. She's had the opportunity to go with us to dinner a couple times. Okay. Well, today was the first time that she met my in-laws. So I'm in the garage working on something in the garage. She comes up and I say, hey, and I said, you can head on in. So she goes in. And I'm in the garage and the door to one of the living rooms is open. And the first thing that I hear is her walk in and she introduces herself straight to my in-laws.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, so as a dad, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like being able to be able to walk in.
And it shows that confidence too.
Yeah.
She's confident.
Absolutely.
It's not like I need you to go and introduce me to your mom or your grandma.
Yeah.
That says a lot about her. But let's take it a step back, like even further, because you are raising, young son, young king, right? Yep. So if he comes to you and he says, Dad, I'm going to go over there on Christmas Eve. I'm going to meet all of her family. He has a question about what he's going to wear when he goes over there. What's appropriate? Like, and I ask this question because I've seen dudes come suited and booted, which I don't think you need to. It's nice if you have it. But I've also seen dudes come extra large t-shirt, baggy pants. It's like, nah, that's not it, right? Yeah. So what's a good middle ground? Maybe somebody's watching, it's like, yo, I don't have a suit. Usually I'm a long tee, skinny jean, Vans wearing dude. What can I go and get that's in the middle? That as a father, if you saw a young man walk in, maybe as one of your son's friends, you'd be like, okay, like,
that's a good question.
Yeah, like, how do you come correct? Just because first appearances are everything.
Everything. The first thing I tell every young man, I don't care who you are, where you're at, the first thing that you should have within your wardrobe is a polo shirt.
Come on.
For real.
A polo shirt. It doesn't matter what color it is, you want to have a polo shirt. Why? Because you don't have to dress down and be super formal, but if you have a polo shirt on, you may have some khaki, some chinos, or some nice jeans.
You could tuck it in, make it more casual.
Tuck it in on your first impression.
Yep.
Like, that's huge. Your first impression, don't have them when it's all ripped, coming all the way down and like, yo, this is just my style. No. When you first come, you want to come presentable when you're coming to a family function. So you could be swagged out with your chains, you can have your earrings in, have your hair how you have it, but at the same time, you want to come with at least a polo shirt to be able to be presentable when you show. So I think when I tell my son, first thing, you're gonna wear a belt. You ain't gonna be wearing the skinny jeans where you down here
pulling them up all night. Yeah.
No. They ain't trying to see your booty cheeks.
Right.
You don't see your drawers, boxers, or your color of yours. You're not coming in with a hoodie.
Right.
You're not coming into the house with a hoodie on. I don't care how fashionable it is. You're gonna have your hair done. You're gonna come in with a polo shirt. You're gonna be able to have a nice pair of jeans on and some clean shoes.
Yeah.
And so I think that's one of the big things that are huge. And then when it comes to young ladies, because I got a daughter.
You got a daughter. Come on.
So one of the things it is that you want to dress modest.
Yeah.
You ain't there advertising. First off, you ain't advertising because you're too young. But if you're a young lady who you're there, you don't want to let all your goods be hanging out, advertising everything. You want to dress modest. You want to be able to dress in a way that represents yourself well, because that first impression carries with you.
I love that, bro. And one of the things that you mentioned I really like too was the fact that you mentioned, like, you could still wear a little chain. You could have some earrings, because I think showing your personality is
It's mandatory.
It's mandatory.
Yeah.
People can read through you like a book if you're sitting there faking the funk the whole night for 5 hours, right? Like, I'm trying to be this Mr. Clean Cut. I don't want to make anybody laugh. I don't want to show any of my personality. I think the best way to win people over is to make someone laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Show your personality. Like I really liked that you mentioned that. And another thing I would say too is that be self-aware of like the image that you project.
Man.
That's really big. So I'll say this a lot. Like one of the things I heard a lot growing up is like, you look so mean because of, I was been a bigger guy, right? So it's like, he's tall, he's big, he looks so mean. And then as I gotten older, I have tattoos, I'm sleeved up. So I'm very mindful
of what first
How you
impression.
might
first
be perceived.
impression. Exactly. So a lot of times when I walk in, they're like, oh shoot, this dude 6'3", 225 pounds, tatted up. So I'm mindful a lot of times of like first impressions. A lot of times when people may see the tattoos or my size, they may automatically have like this perception of me, right? And my mom, shout out to her growing up, she was made me very mindful of like, people can think what they want to think of you, but the minute you begin to speak, you'll either confirm or remove all doubt.
Yes.
You're either going to confirm what they were thinking about you, like, yeah, I knew he was one of them,
Mm-hmm.
or they're going to be like, oh shoot, hang on, right? So I think it's very important to be, for one, be very mindful of your image. Like, you come off as this friendly jokester, or do you come off like, bro, looks like a bouncer, he looks like a bodyguard, or you look like someone's got out of prison, right?
Do you look like somebody for the streets?
Somebody from the streets?
Or do you look
right.
like somebody, a lady who's well-to-do, or, meaning well-to-do, not in just finances, but I'm talking about like, you've got yourself put together.
Yeah, you got a
a
plan
good
for
head on
yourself.
your
And this is the other thing I would say too, and I'm not a father yet, but I've met fathers, and I've been told that they appreciate this. Men, when you meet a young lady and her family,
Talk to the camera. Let
bruh,
them know.
do not spend all night dodging pops. Like,
Gotta get
you
that.
want to be on the I don't like him list really quick. It's like you're in his house. He comes over here and I'm gonna move this way. I'm gonna go over here, right? Or like you're up underneath her all night, like she's your bodyguard. Hold on, I'm coming with you, right? Like,
Like a lost puppy.
come on, man. Like,
Okay.
show some confidence. Introduce, ask Pops, how's your night going? Whatever. What do you do for whatever?
Yeah.
And it's
Okay,
okay to be nervous.
You can be nervous.
Yeah,
He's-
that's what I was
if
going to
you're
ask you.
but you
nervous,
got to remember,
that
Pop's
shows
been there too.
Exactly.
Pop's been there too.
He knows he's nervous.
He knows what you're going
that
through.
means he really wants to make
Yeah.
a good impression.
And most pops, like most dads that I've met in those situations, mad cool.
Yeah.
But they didn't come to me. When I went to them, they were like, I was wondering if you were going to come over and have a conversation.
Okay. So check this out. I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna alley-oop this over to you, Dips. Is what is a conversation that somebody can have? If you don't know family members, you're new, you're the one who's not a part of that family, you're going to a new family gathering. What are some of the ways that you can spark a conversation so you're not just
Mhm.
sitting there in the corner? Because it's also stressful if it's your family.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy your family, but if
Yeah.
you're looking back and they just in the corner like this,
Right.
like, you don't want to be babysitting them. So if somebody is there, bruh, they're new to the family, this first time at a function, or they want to go talk to the dad, or a young lady wants to talk to the mom or talk to other family members, what are some of the things that they can do so that they don't have to be so nervous that they don't say nothing?
Yeah.
How do they have a conversation?
Well, you gotta be real aware. When you walk in, first thing you want to do is introduce yourself.
Mhm.
I love a polo because I want to show that I'm fit. If I take care of myself, I can take care
Mhm.
of you. That I'm confident because this is his baby, right? Can you take care of my baby if I allow you guys to go on the date? Like, like on Bad Boys, can you fight?
Right.
You can't fight.
Yeah.
But just like that, that I was raised right,
Mhm.
right? I want to show that I was raised right and I know how to act. And I'm looking around. Is there sports in here?
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
being
that's
that
good.
we've read on so many topics, we can dive in on so many topics. I could
That's
talk
so good, dude.
sports. I could talk work. I
I was
could
just going
talk
to say, that's a big one. Like, if
so
she's
many
mentioned to
different
you what he
things.
does for a living,
Exactly.
how long have you been a firefighter? Oh, he knows what I do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or I heard you in the military.
So
Tell me,
do your homework.
do your
do your
homework.
homework.
Yeah.
And ask questions because not only do they actually have wisdom because they've been there, done that,
Yep.
they love to teach, right? And it's
Love
going
to
and if you can get them talking about what they do or themselves or how they built something or
Mhm.
their daughter or their family, their wife or something that they're really passionate about, then you can also get some data on how your girl is
Yeah.
and how she was raised. But then also when you walk away, you're like, man, that was a dope young man.
Yeah, that's a gem, bro. Because I'm like, here's another gem for the youngins, bro. if you can find out what her dad does for a living, you will learn so much about him.
Or vice versa for ladies.
Or the moms. Yeah, or moms. I mean, I'm speaking from a guy's perspective because obviously we date women, but yeah, for the ladies too. Or if you can find out what the mom does for a living, like Roy mentioned, right? Anyone he brings around, if they have the knowledge that Roy's mom was in the LAPD for 30 plus years, retired as a sergeant, that tells you so much probably about her experiences, her personality, what she's seen. She's probably a very structured person, right? That probably has a lot to do with the way she raised Roy. So all those things are key. But like you also mentioned, man, sports, all that stuff, that's golden. Those are easy combos that get in there really quick.
I want to throw an extra in there. This one is crucial. And then Jeff, you can start, winding us down. Is showing the ability to lead or and you can kind of do this subtle ways because you don't want to step on Pop's feet or anything like that. But I'll just say something that I do that's always came off super dope is can I pray over the food and lead the prayer?
Be a leader.
Be a leader. Everybody gather up, hold hands. I'm going to pray for the food real quick. As long as, they're not, something way out of the way where they don't pray or something like that, which probably, if that's your value, you probably shouldn't be there anyway.
That gets dicey though, bro. I'm going to keep it 100 because normally when it comes to praying over the food, that's the patriarch or, the matriarch in there. So it can be dicey. So I love that idea. If it's in a case where they're like, yo, does anybody want to pray for the food? Take the initiative to say, yo, I'll pray for the food.
Yeah, or I think if that's your standard and you're a man, just do what men do, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be praying if that's what Pops does. Hey, this is my house, bro. I pray in here. Cool. You know what I mean? But sometimes it can be helping moms take the trash out. Trash can get full.
Gold.
Let me take that out. Or maybe your girl says it's dark outside. I'm gonna go get the jackets. No, you're not. I got them, right? You're not about to walk down the street and get those.
One of the things
Pops notices that stuff.
Well, dude, one of the things that I did was for Nadia in the Hispanic culture, the women serve the men. It's widely done. Not everybody, but for the most part, the men sit down, the women get the dishes, and they do that. Well, I broke all protocol because I would serve Nadia first and then serve myself because that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
And so to all of the women, it looked like they were like, oh, wow, he's there. And then for the fathers to see it, they're like, okay, he's different. So when it comes to values and morals, I want to make sure we're clear on that is when you go into a place, if it violates a value or a moral that you have, respectfully decline.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. So for the longest time, I'm not really a drinker. So when they were like, yo, hey, you want this? Oh, no, I'm okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for it. Or if you know they drink, come to the house with a drink already in your hand.
Yeah.
So if you carry a drink, I learned that when I was navigating, when I was in a church, and then we go to talk to businessmen and they be in all these places, I would come with a drink. I would either come with a sparkling water. I would come with a bottle of water, Dom Perrier. I mean, not Dom Perrier, but what's that called?
Like that Perrier water.
Yeah, Perrier. In my hand when I would walk into a place and they wouldn't even ask me because they already saw that I had a drink. And so if it goes against your values, you can respectfully decline. Just let them know, you know what, I don't do that. Or you know what, no, thank you. Thank you so much for that dessert, but I'm on a strict eating plan or something like that. And by doing that, you also show that you're a disciplined person.
Yeah.
So you guys have spoken about, man, this is how we go. We talked about, do's and don'ts of how do you navigate those type of things. There's a couple things that I want to make sure that we tackle briefly, and I think we can hit it within the time allotment. Is to understand also is that when it comes to creating traditions, not every family is a healthy family. Not every family tradition is a healthy family tradition. It could be a very toxic environment. And so one of the things that I had to learn, there was a season in my time when my family was going through some toxic times. And for me, what I had to do was really look at it and say, okay, if I put my family into this environment, is it going to serve us or is it going to hurt us? We've already made, hey, listen, we don't like this when this happens. We don't like that when it happens. We prefer this, and that. Yo, your kid came over here and snatched my kid's stuff. I was polite this time, but the next time they come across, we're going to have some problems. Or, and I'm saying that in a light manner, but there are moments where the homes and the family environments are very toxic.
Yeah.
And so for us, for Nadia and I, we had to recognize there was a season of time where there were certain things when we got married that we wanted to create our own traditions. So for Christmas Day, we used to go to all the family's house. We used to go around. That's my birthday. But then I just realized, I want to create a new tradition with my family. So when we wake up, I want to enjoy breakfast with my kids.
Right.
I want to be able to enjoy Christmas Day with my family. So here's what we can do. We're open to meeting up with our family. You guys can come to our house a week before, a couple days before, and be able to be a part of that. Or we alternate every other year. We may go to her family one year. Next year, we go to my family. And we weren't afraid to be able to create those traditions. But I want to make sure that when it comes to these traditions and when it comes to our families, that you have the right to say, no, it's a toxic environment. And that just thinking about going to your auntie's house, your uncle's house, it can create a stress to where it robs you of your relationship. So what are your guys' thoughts on that briefly and just really touching on that? Because I just shared that was something that was big for us when we decided, there's a couple of traditions that we're going to create, and we gave ourselves the right to say it's okay for us to create that, and it's okay for them to be upset. Like Pop says, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
There's some room and space to create new traditions that you want to make now that you have your family. And it's not a disrespect to family to just say, this is one little thing, kind of how I want to change just a little bit, just for my family dynamics. You could take the best from both families and merge them,
I love that,
and then come up, with your own thing. And at the
Let
same
me
time,
go
not
ahead and
step on anybody's toes.
That's gold. Right?
That's gold, dude. Yeah.
Not step on anybody's toes, but I just hope that we help people navigate this because we know how to move in rooms. That's a gift all three of us have. So
From experience, you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, put just and just go through the nerves and do it. But that's how I feel about that.
That was gold. Yeah, no, I agree 100% with Dip said. I think as you get older, there's nothing wrong with wanting to create your own traditions, right? Or having, maybe you bought a home, like I want to have Christmas in my home, in the space that we created. But I think a lot of times where feelings get hurt or where toes feel like you're getting stepped on is when you don't communicate.
Yeah.
I think communication is so big with the people that you care about and the people that you love. And I think that, it might be a conversation that sounds something like, I want to take all those great traditions, mom and dad, that you gave us, and all that love. And I want to be able to like take on that torch, pass me the torch and go on and continue your traditions. And I think that, just be inclusive, invite those people to partake in your new traditions and, your new experiences and these new spaces that you create. And I think after a while, your family kind of sees like they're in that transition phase. Like, we hosted for so long and now they're taking on the torch.
Yeah.
And
they may not like it, but they'll end up respecting it.
I think
as long
so.
as you honor that and make sure that you're not using manipulation in those relationships, I think it's important to understand that you're not like, well, what, playing that card, playing that drama card every year. But when it comes to your family, it's a different treatment. Now, we're going to respect both families the same way. Let's talk about where we are. You don't have to yell about it. You don't have to argue about it, but you can respect those and make sure that this is both of your holiday season. So again, it goes back to our relationships. You own a piece of your holiday truth. I own a piece of mine. If somebody is coming at your wife or your husband sideways, you get the ability to check them and let them know, if you continue, we will not be along. We will not be bringing our family to these events. But you have the right to be able to set those boundaries.
And remember to compromise. Especially when you're blending families, you might just have to get really good at time management and making rounds. I don't mind eating at 4 houses. We do what we gotta do.
We gotta do it. And make sure you have that. I love that, man. You're compromise.
Compromise, bro.
But look, man, let's give it up for the wisdom and all of that we dropped here in this episode of the Bros to Men podcast. Now, listen, everybody has their stuff. This topic is so deep. But if you're watching this, and listen, when we drop this episode, you're watching this right now, we want you to know that you can comment below and give us some of the tips that you have that helps out navigate this holiday season. What are the goals that you have, the gems that you can drop that can change life? But once again, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us here. We want to give you guys a round of applause for joining us on this
2023 in the book.
Come on, baby. It's the holiday season. It's going to be good. It's good. It's going to be good. Get ready for the new year.
Yep.
Much love, you guys.
Peace.